Hey guys, welcome to the video on 8086 emulator software assembly language. In this video, I am going to show you how to see the opcode, address and the memory of the instruction that we write in this emulator software. So without waiting, let's get started. Now if you have seen my last video, this window should be familiar to you, and this is our 8086 microprocessor architecture. The first four registers that we can see in this window, the AX, BX, CX and DX, are here inside our microprocessor. They are in the EU section of our microprocessor. The AH and AL, two 8-bit registers, combine to form the AX register. Similarly for BX, CX and DX. These are all 16-bit registers when we combine the higher bit and the lower 8 bits. Now this CS register that you can see is our code segment register that points to our code segment in the memory. Now if you want to know about segments and segment register, you can refer to my videos. I will provide the link in the description. Next we see our IP register, which is inside our BIU again. This IP register points to the offset address of our code segment in the memory. The SS register points to the stack segment in our memory. The SP, BP, SI and DI registers that we can see in our EU section here are the offset registers which contains the offset address for various other segments that is there in our memory. And the DS and ES register, that is this DS and ES, which is in our BIU, points to the data and extra segment in our memory respectively. Now in our 8086 emulator, by default, when we write an instruction, it is stored in our code segment. And if you have seen my theoretical videos, then you should know that the code segment is pointed by two registers, the CS register, which points to the segment address of our code segment, and the IP register, which points to the offset address of our code segment. So this CS register that we can see points to the address of our code segment in the memory, and this IP register points to the offset address of the code segment in our memory. And by default, these two registers are selected by our 8086 emulator. Now another thing to know is, when we know about the segment address and the offset address of a particular instruction, then we can calculate the actual physical address of that location in the memory. This I have discussed in detail in my theoretical videos. This is just to show you the practical part in this 8086 emulator. So the physical address of a location in our memory is calculated by multiplying 10, which is a hexadecimal number, with the segment address that we get by our CS register plus the offset address that we get from our IP register. So let's jump into our emulator to see how that works. Emulator. Now I have come to my emulator, and as you can see, I have written a very simple program. I have discussed about all these instructions in my last video. So the first instruction that I gave is move AX, 10H. So this 10 will get stored in our AX register. The next instruction that I gave is move BX, 05H. So this 05 will get stored in our BX register. And the last instruction that I gave is add AX, BX, which will add the values that are stored in AX and BX. So let's see. I go to emulate and this window appears. I cancel this one. So the first thing you can see is these are our registers, and here you can see this is the instruction that we wrote, that is move AX, 10H, move BX, 5H and add AX, BX. The next thing to notice here is our code segment. In the last slide I told you that by default our 8086 microprocessor selects this code segment, and this IP is our offset address. So by default our microprocessor selects these two registers. We can see the CS has a value 100 and the IP has a value 0. Now let us bring our attention to this part. We can see there are two numbers separated by a semicolon. The first number is our segment address, and as I discussed in the last slide, that this segment address is given by our CS register. So as you can see, the CS has the value 100. So this first value is 100 here. Now the second value, that is 0, is our offset address. And this offset address, as I discussed in the last slide, is given by our IP register. which is here. As you can see, the value of IP is 0000, and here also the value is 0000. Now we saw, if we have the segment address and the offset address, now we can calculate the actual physical address of this instruction. That is our first instruction we are seeing. So the physical address of this instruction is equals to segment address into 10H plus the offset address, right? So here we can see our segment address is 100. So I write segment address as 100H, because this is a hexadecimal number, into 10H plus the offset address here is 0, so 0H. So what we get, the value is 1000H. So our physical address for the first instruction is 1000H. Now if we see this part, the first address, if we notice, is 1000. Here we got our physical address as 1000. So our first instruction starts from the address 1000 in our memory, and it goes up to 1002. So this 3 depicts our first instruction, that is move AX, 10H. Similarly, if we go to single step and run our program, now we can see the value of CX remains 100 and the value of IP has changed to 3. So here if we see, this is our segment address which is given by our CS register. So this is 100, and this is our offset address which is given by our IP register, which is 3. So now we'll calculate our physical address. So PA is given by segment address, which is 100 in this case, this one, into 10H plus our offset address, which is given as 3 in this case. So the number or the physical address comes as 1003H. So for the second instruction, which is move BX, 05H, the instruction starts from the location 1003 and it goes up to 3 bytes. Now again we run our single step, and again we can see the value of CS remains 100 and the value of IP has changed to 6. And here also it has changed. This is the CS value and this is the IP value. That is, this is the segment address and this is the offset address. So how do we calculate our physical address? Physical address equals to 100H into 10 plus 6H. So it comes as 1006H. So as we can see here, our instruction has started from the location 1006. So this instruction has started from the location 1006. Now what I am going to talk about is the opcode. So what we as a programmer write, we write in order to communicate with our microprocessor. For example, this move AX, BX is an instruction that we write in order for a microprocessor to do certain function. Now this AX and BX are called the operand, and this move that we write, which is an assembly language, gets converted into something called the opcode inside our microprocessor. So inside our microprocessor, every instruction that we write gets converted into something called an opcode. Let's take another example. Suppose we have move AX, 1005H. So this AX and 1005H is our operand, and this move instruction that we give gets converted into something called the opcode. So inside our microprocessor, all the communication that takes place is in the form of opcode, and this opcode goes into our control section and get decoded, and it sends control signals throughout our entire microprocessor in order for the entire microprocessor to understand what exactly that instruction meant. So I have discussed about opcode in detail in my theoretical videos. If you want, you can watch them. I will provide the link in description. Now inside our 8086 emulator, the opcode that we have for every instruction is in the form of an hexadecimal code. Let's jump into our emulator to see where we can see that code. So again, I have come to my emulator, and as you can see, I have written a very basic code. Move AX, 1004H, move BX, 1200H, and add AX, BX. Now I go to emulate, cancel this window. So in the last slide, as we discussed, every instruction gets converted into an opcode. Now where we can find it inside our emulator? This hexadecimal number that you can see is our opcode and operands. Now the first thing you can see in this column is B8. This B8 is the opcode for move AX, and next column you can see we have the value 04, which is basically the lower 8 bits of our operand that we passed, and then we can see a 1010, which is the higher 8 bits of our instruction, that is this one, 10. So we have given the instruction move AX, 1004H. So this has got converted into an opcode, which is B8. This lower 8 bits is stored in the second column, and this upper 8 bits is stored in the third column. So this entire thing we can say is our opcode, which has the operands as well. So this entire thing is our opcode. So this opcode is the language that our microprocessor speaks internally. We write the assembly language, and our microprocessor changes that assembly language into this opcode, and all the operations happen on this opcode after they are decoded. The next thing you can see is the next column, that is, it has some numbers. This is basically the decimal equivalent of our opcode. So let's see how it is calculated. The first was B8. We know the hexadecimal for B is 11, and for 8 is 8. So if we change this hexadecimal number into decimal number, we will get 16 to the power 1 into 11 plus 16 to the power 0 into 8. If we calculate this, we get 176 plus 8, which is equals to 184. So we can see this is our decimal equivalent of the opcode. The decimal equivalent of 04 remains 04, and for 10, that is this one, it becomes 10. It is 1 into 16 to the power 1 plus 0 into 16 to the power 0, which is equals to 16. So we can see here we have 16. So thus this column is our decimal equivalent, this is our opcode, and this is our address. So to summarize, for this instruction, that is our first instruction, the address is 1000. So the address starts from 1000H. This is our physical address, and the opcode for our first instruction is B8, which is this one, 04, which is the second column, and 10, which is the third column. Similarly, for the next instruction also, you can find all these three things. So please try them out. So in this window, the first thing here is our physical address, which is calculated by multiplying the address that we have from our CS register, which is 100, into 10, plus the address we get from our IP register, which is 0 in this case. So 100 into 10 plus 0 is 1000. So our instruction starts from 1000. The second column is the opcode, and the third column is the decimal equivalent of our opcode. So this is for our first instruction. Similarly, for the next set of instruction, we will have a physical address, opcode, and a decimal equivalent. Now suppose we have these instructions. If you have seen my last video, I have discussed about this type of instruction. This is called direct addressing mode, in which we give the offset address of a particular location in our memory directly in our instruction. So this 1100H is an offset address which is given by our IP register, and this is our instruction. Similarly, for move BX, 1102H, this 1102H is also an offset address in our memory, and by this instruction we are accessing that location directly and storing the value which we have in this location in our BX register. And then we did add AX, BX, and the last instruction that we gave is move brackets 1200h comma ax. So what this will do is copy the value of ax and store the value in this location. So this is also an offset address. The value that we have in our ax will get stored inside the memory, which has an offset address of 1200h. Now let's see another example. Suppose we have move ax comma 1100h in brackets. So this location, whatever is stored in this location, will get stored in our ax register. Then we write move bx comma 1102h. So whatever is stored in this location will get stored in bx register. Then we do a multiplication operation, which I have discussed in my last video. And then we do move this location comma ax. So what this will do is store the value of ax in 1200h location. So this is our offset address, and move 1202h comma dx. So this dx value will get stored in this location. So let's jump into our emulator to see how that works. So I have come to my emulator, and as you can see, I have written a very basic code. Move ax comma 1100h in brackets. What this instruction will do is store whatever value which is there in this location in our ax register. And as we saw in the last slide, the thing that is written inside brackets is our offset address. So if I go to emulate, cancel this window. Now I want to go to view, and there is an option called memory. I'll go there. So the memory has the similar thing as this window has. This is our segment address, and this is our offset address. So by default, our CS has 100 value and the IP has 00 value. So in this location, which is 1000h, we have the opcode for our first instruction, which is A10011. As you can see, A10011. So what our first instruction was supposed to do is store whatever value that is stored in this offset address inside our AX register. So let's see what our 1100H register has initially. So I select this offset address here and type 1100 there, and I press update. Now as you can see, by default this address has 00 value. Now what I want to do is store a 16-bit number in this location. So I click on the first 00, go to the hexadecimal column and change it to some number, let's say 13, and I press update. I cancel this window, and then I select the second 8 bits and I give another number, suppose 08, and I update and I cancel it. So now our 1100 location has the value 1308. So what our first step was meant to do is take the value from this location, that is this location. So I've given the value 1308 in this location and stored the value inside our AX register. Now if I run the second step, notice this value in AX. So I run single step and I can see the value that I gave here is stored in our AX register. So this instruction that we gave stores the value which we have set in this location inside our AX register. So I give this location here a number and I updated it in the memory. So inside our memory, this number is stored in this location, and 110 is our offset address and 100 is our segment address. So in this physical address, this number is stored, and I access this number using our first instruction, move AX, 1100H in brackets. So let's see the next step. Next step what we have is move BX, 1102H. So we can see 1102, that is this position, that is this location inside our memory, has initially the value 0. Now if I update this number by some other number, suppose I give 10, update and cancel this window, and for the next 8 bits I give suppose 23 and I update it. Now we can see our 1102 location has the value 1023. So in the next instruction, when I want to store the value that is stored in this location to BX, what will happen is this 1023 will get stored in our BX register. So I will run the single step and we can see this number is stored in our BX register. So the first 8 bits that we wrote is our lower 8 bit, and last 8 bits we wrote is our higher 8 bit. So 10 is stored in BL and 23 is stored in our BX register. So we saw by giving this instruction, the value that is stored in this location gets stored in our BX register. Now the next thing we want to do is add AX and BX and store the result in AX. So I run the next step and we can see the addition takes place and the final result is stored in our AX register, right? And in the last step, what I want to do is move the value which is stored in our AX register to this 1200H location inside our memory. So if I run the step, and if I go to this location, that is 1200 inside our memory, and I update it, we can see in the location 1200 inside our memory, this result of AX is stored. Thus, this gives a clear understanding of how our memory is accessed directly by direct addressing mode and how we can store the values in our respective registers. So to summarize, for the first instruction, move AX, 1100H in brackets, the address that we got is this one, which is 1000H. So this instruction starts from the address 1000H, which is calculated by multiplying the value that we have in our CS register, which is 100, into 10 plus the value which we have in our IP register, which is 0. So we get 1000H. The opcode for the first instruction is this column, that is A10011, and the comment that we can write for this instruction is stores the value from the location 1100H in the memory to the register AX. So similarly for the next instructions also, we can run the single step and write our respective address opcode and the comment, that is what this instruction is doing. So with this, I would like to end this video. If you have liked this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any feedback, please drop it down in the comment box. Thank you and happy learning.